Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we are doing something that feels a little like an archaeological dig.
Right.
Usually we're sifting through a stack of articles or, a dense book trying to synthesize chapters of research. But today, our source material is just a single static snapshot of the internet.
It's a fascinating artifact, though. We're looking at a Patreon feed, specifically the public-facing page of a creator who's operating under this very loud, very aggressive banner.
Oh, yeah. I exposed Elon Musk, the dark side of Tesla.
Exactly that.
Now, based on that title alone, you know exactly what you're signing up for, right?
I think you do.
You expect whistleblower leaks, maybe some charts about battery degradation, perhaps a rant about stock manipulation or labor unions. Standard tech activist fare.
That's the expectation for sure. If you click that link, you're likely looking for some kind of confirmation bias about electric vehicles or, corporate billionaires.
But the reality of this feed is, well, it's a lot more disorienting.
It is. It's not just an expose. It's this jarring collision of, global financial doom, ancient Egyptian theology, high-end eyewear.
And avant-garde digital art. It feels like scrolling through someone's browser history after they've been awake for 72 hours drinking espresso.
That's a great way to put it.
It's chaotic, but our mission today isn't just to point and say, wow, look at that weird corner of the internet. We want to understand the architecture of this worldview.
Wow.
We want to know how a person goes from hating electric cars to decoding the name of God in the 14th century BC while, shopping for sunglasses.
Exactly. We're mapping the mind of the modern conspiracy theorist, or perhaps a better term would be the modern Renaissance theorist.
That's interesting.
Because there is a logic here. It's just not a linear one. It's a network.
Okay, so let's start with the container itself. The headline is, I exposed Elon Musk. In the economy of attention, that is a very specific flag to plant. It's high stakes.
It's a high-value flag, for sure. Anti-Musk sentiment is a massive market, just like pro-Musk sentiment. But think about what that headline signals to a potential subscriber. It signals that the creator possesses forbidden knowledge. It establishes an us versus them dynamic immediately.
So the creator is the brave truth teller, the mainstream media is the lie.
And if you subscribe, you get to be on the inside.
Okay, so that's the hook. That gets you in the door. But here is where the sort of bait and switch happens.
Totally.
You subscribe for the Tesla dirt. But the very first visible post in the popular publications list has absolutely nothing to do with cars.
It's not a thing.
It's a video thumbnail, a serious-looking guy, and the title is, in Spanish, La inminente llegada de un colapso financiero global, cisne negro.
Which translates to the imminent arrival of a global financial collapse, black swan.
So we have pivoted from Tesla is a fraud to the entire global economy is a fraud.
It's a classic escalation in these spaces.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can convince an audience that the richest man in the world is a house of cards,
right.
It's a very short psychological hop to convincing them that the central banks are also a house of cards. But I want to focus on that specific phrase they used in the title.
Black swan.
Black swan, yeah.
Right. This is a term popularized by the essayist and scholar Nassim Nicholas Taleb.
Correct. And in strictly economic terms, a black swan is an event that is unpredictable, has a massive impact, and is often rationalized in hindsight.
Like the 2008 financial crisis or the outbreak of a global pandemic.
Exactly. The key part of the definition is that you cannot predict them based on past data.
But the title here says, the imminent arrival of a black swan.
Precisely. It's a contradiction in terms.
Which is so ironic, isn't it? Because by definition, if you predict it, it's not a black swan.
Exactly. If you see it coming, it's just a white swan or a gray rhino, a probable risk. But using the term black swan sounds sophisticated.
It sounds intellectual.
It does. It signals to the audience that this creator isn't just ranting. They are applying, probability theory. They're reading Taleb. They're a student of the market.
It adds this veneer of academic rigor to what is essentially fear-mongering. The timestamp on the post says 5 days ago, and it calls the collapse imminent.
It creates this state of permanent emergency.
Right.
And that is the retention strategy. Anxiety is a much stronger retention tool than curiosity. If I tell you Tesla is bad, you might unsubscribe when you get bored of the topic.
Sure.
If I tell you your savings are about to vanish next week, you're going to keep paying that Patreon subscription to see what happens next. You need the update.
It positions the creator as a kind of lighthouse. The world is ending, stay close to me.
Mm-hmm.
But, and this is the part that really threw me for a loop, We scroll past the financial apocalypse, and we land in the 18th dynasty of Egypt.
This is what I'm calling the theological pivot.
Mm-hmm.
We have a post titled El verdadero nombre de Dios, the true name of God.
The image is just so stark. It's the Hebrew script for Yahweh, bright white against a black background.
And the text description isn't some vague spiritual quote like, love is all you need.
No, it's oddly specific. It mentions nomadic groups, the 14th century BC, historical context about pharaohs.
I love this pivot because it reveals the deeper psychology at play here. We're moving from financial skepticism to historical skepticism.
Okay, explain that connection. Because on the surface, stock market crashes, and pharaohs don't seem to have much in common.
Well, one is math, the other's archaeology.
Right.
But they share a common enemy, the official narrative. If you believe the news is lying to you about the economy, you start to wonder, what else are they lying about?
Oh, okay.
You start questioning the foundations of civilization itself, religion, history. Where do we come from?
So it's a search for the original source code.
That's a perfect way to put it. It's almost a form of Gnosticism, the ancient idea that the world we see is a fake overlay, and you need special, secret knowledge to see the reality.
So the creator is saying, I have decoded the stock market, and now I have decoded the Bible.
Yes. It creates this image of the creator as a polymath. They aren't just some guy with a webcam and a grudge against Elon Musk. They're a historian, an economist, a theologian.
All in one.
And notice the specific era mentioned in the text, the 18th dynasty. That is the era of Akhenaten, the heretic pharaoh, who tried to change Egyptian religion to monotheism.
Oh, right.
It is a favorite topic for alternative historians because it represents a suppressed truth in history.
So even their history lesson is a kind of conspiracy theory.
In a way, yeah.
Yeah.
It just reinforces the brand. I dig up the things that the establishment tried to bury.
Okay, I can follow that thread. From conspiracy to secret history, that tracks. If you don't trust the Fed, you might not trust the textbook.
Makes sense.
But then the thread snaps, because right next to the true name of God, we have a post about Oakley sunglasses.
Yes. Oakley is fully committed to the Milano Cortina 2026 games.
And it's not an expose on Oakley. It's not about their labor practices or plastic waste. It looks like a celebration.
It really does.
It says they are sponsoring the Canadian, Finnish, and New Zealand teams. It's accompanied by this slick, high-fashion photo of a model in purple shades.
And immediately after that, we have a post about an art installation, Peso y Presencia, Weight and Presence, at the Madrid Design Festival.
This is what I can't reconcile. We have the end of the world, we have ancient secrets, and then we have a press release for the Winter Olympics and an architectural review.
I know.
Why? Why does the guy exposing Elon Musk care about a design festival in Madrid?
This is the most crucial part of the whole persona. If you only post about doom and conspiracies, you look like a crackpot.
Yeah.
You look like someone shouting on a street corner with a cardboard sign.
You look unhinged. You look like you live in a basement.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But if you sandwich the conspiracy theories between high-end design, international travel, and fashion news, suddenly you aren't a crackpot.
You're a connoisseur.
You are a connoisseur.
It's an aesthetic signal. It says, I'm not crazy, I'm sophisticated.
It's the gentleman spy archetype. Think of a Bond villain. They don't just want to destroy the world. They also appreciate a good opera and a well-tailored suit. This creator is signaling that they are part of the global elite that they're also critiquing.
I know about the imminent collapse, but I also know where the best gallery in Madrid is.
It makes the forbidden knowledge feel exclusive rather than marginal. It tells the subscriber, if you follow me, you aren't just joining a militia, you're joining a salon. We're the smart ones, we're the cultured ones.
It's aspirational paranoia.
That is a brilliant phrase.
Yeah.
Aspirational paranoia. You want to be scared of the world ending, but you want to look good while it happens.
It really changes how you view the products section at the bottom of the feed, because usually when you scroll to the bottom of a generic Patreon, you see, I don't know.
Buy a t-shirt.
Right, buy a t-shirt or exclusive Discord access. Here we see something very different.
We see the creator pivoting to artist. We have 2 digital items for sale. The first is titled Duda and Code 1 Vita Prohibita Forbidden Life.
Forbidden Life. Again, very on brand. It matches the whole hidden truth theme.
Very on brand. And look at the credits. Composition 2009. Post-production 2025. Godboy Studio.
Godboy Studio. I mean, the ego involved in that name is spectacular. Godboy.
It's something else.
It ties back to the theology post, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
It positions the creator as a deity of their own little world.
Yeah.
But look at the dates. 2009 to 2025.
That fascinated me. This isn't new content. This is archival material. This creator has been building this body of work for over 15 years.
They're remastering their own past.
Yeah.
It implies a legacy. It implies that this person has been an artist and a visionary for decades, and we're just catching up to them now. It adds weight to their voice.
Right. They aren't just reacting to the news. They are curating a lifetime of work.
And the second item, de la tour un de cielo, a thaw.
And the visual is this abstract, chrome-like liquid shape. It's very modern, very, Tumblr art, very 2010s aesthetic.
It sells for €6.40, a very specific, slightly accessible price point.
Yeah.
But what are we actually buying here? Is it music? Is it just the image?
The description says audio, so I assume it's soundscapes or experimental tracks. But really, you aren't buying the MP3, are you?
No. You're buying a piece of the God Boy vibe. You're buying a token of membership. It's like buying merch from a band. But the band is also your financial advisor and your priest.
It closes the loop, doesn't it?
It really does.
You come for the Musk news, that's the reporter. You stay for the financial doom, that's the prophet. You learn about the name of God, that's the teacher.
You admire the Oakley sunglasses, that's the tastemaker.
And finally, you buy the soundtrack, that's the artist.
It's a closed ecosystem, a Gesamtkunstwerk, a total work of art. The creator isn't just providing information, they're providing a total lifestyle simulation.
But I have to ask, does it work? I mean, stepping back from the analysis, does this chaotic mix actually build credibility?
That's the million-dollar question.
Or does the art stuff make the financial advice look like? Well, like performance art.
To a skeptic like, perhaps you or I, who are looking at this critically, the juxtaposition destroys credibility. I can't take your economic forecast about a black swan seriously if you're also trying to sell me your avant-garde mixtape from 2009.
Right, in the next breath. It feels unserious. It feels like a brand exercise rather than journalism.
But to the believer, to the target audience, I think it actually reinforces credibility.
How so?
Because it proves the creator is real. They aren't a corporate bot. They aren't a mainstream media anchor reading a teleprompter. They are a complex, multifaceted human being with taste.
So it feels authentic because it's messy.
Yes. The messiness is the proof of humanity. In an age of AI-generated content and polished corporate PR, a Patreon feed that veers wildly from ancient Egypt to Madrid art galleries feels like a genuine look inside a brilliant, if scattered, mind.
It reminds me of how people follow cult leaders, not just for the doctrine, but for the personality. The eccentricities are a feature, not a bug.
That's it. He's so smart, his mind just goes everywhere. The eccentricity proves they are operating outside the norm. And if they are outside the norm socially, maybe they are outside the norm intellectually. Which means maybe they do know about the Black Swan event before anyone else.
So God Boy Studio isn't just a funny name, it's the thesis statement.
I am the creator of this world.
And for €6.40, you can live in it.
There you.
You know, there's another angle here we haven't quite touched on. The language.
Ah, yes.
The financial video is in Spanish, the art titles are in Spanish, but the exposed banner is in English.
It points to a globalized audience, or at least the appearance of one. It suggests the creator is cosmopolitan. I speak the languages of the world.
It fights against that stereotype of the, American conspiracy theorist in a rural basement.
It does. This is a sophisticated international operation.
Or at least that's the projection. It's pretty easy to use Google Translate to make your titles look worldly.
True. But even the attempt signals the ambition. This isn't local news. This is about the global collapse, the universal name of God.
It's everything is connected. That seems to be the core philosophy holding this whole mess together.
That is the core of all conspiracy thinking. There's a term for it. Apophenia, the tendency to perceive meaningful connections between unrelated things.
Right.
To you and me, Oakley sunglasses and Yahweh are unrelated. To the God Boy mind, they are part of the same tapestry of hidden truth and high aesthetics.
So the sunglasses help you see the hidden truth.
Maybe literally.
So if we step away from this specific feed and look at the bigger picture for our listeners, what is the takeaway here? Because most of us probably don't subscribe to this specific Patreon.
Right.
But we see versions of this everywhere. We see health influencers selling supplements alongside political rants. We see tech bros giving dating advice.
The takeaway is to recognize the bundle. We used to consume news from newspapers, religion from church, and art from galleries. Those were separate pillars of society. Now, in the creator economy, we look for individuals who bundle all of that together into one feed.
We want a one-stop shop for our worldview. It's efficient.
It's efficient, but it can be dangerous. Because if you trust someone's taste in music or their hatred of Elon Musk, you might accidentally lower your guard for their financial advice or their historical revisionism.
You let the halo effect take over. Because they're cool, because they know about the Madrid Design Festival, they must be right about the economy.
Exactly. When you see a feed like this, ask yourself, am I learning or am I just buying an aesthetic? Am I being informed or am I being styled?
Is the black swan a financial probability, or is it just a darker shade of paint for the mood board?
That is the question to sit with. And I think for this particular creator, the line between truth and art has been completely erased.
It's a lot to process. We've gone from Tesla stock prices to the sands of ancient Egypt to the galleries of Madrid, all to understand one person's digital storefront.
It's a wild world out there.
It certainly is, and frankly, I'll never look at a pair of Oakleys the same way again.
Me neither.
I'm going to be wondering what ancient secrets are hidden in the frames.
Nor will I. Just make sure you check the price tag before you buy the philosophy.
That wraps up this deep dive into the chaotic, fascinating architecture of modern belief. We hope it gave you a new lens, pun intended, to look at the content you consume. Thanks for listening.
Stay curious.